You know what I'm talking about. Yes, this is the scene where Aaron gets his leg cut off. Yes, this is where he gets his leg, detached from his body. And of course, we know what happens next. He tries to take the place of Armin, from the Titan, take Armin out of the mouth so he can be the one in the mouth. And so he's the one who goes down the Titan's, mouth. And unlike the anime, they decide here to flat out show you going down the intestinal system of the Titan, where he gets down into the stomach, and the stomach is already consuming that horny girl, and he's like, I wonder why the acid isn't consuming me yet. Oh, wait a minute, it is. Oh no. And then when it happens, the Titan is about to attack the scouts, the Titan that ate that ate Aaron, and Armin is like, yep, it's all my fault. And thankfully he's not being as whiny as the anime version of Armin, who is always like, it was my fault, it was my fault. Hey, I bet they cut all that out for time. But anyway, so yes, So as the big, morbidly obese, ugly-looking Titan is about to eat the others, finally ending the movie, no, instead we get an awesome recreation of that famous scene from Attack on Titan, where the fingers come from the Titan's mouth and separates it, and the Titan explodes, revealing the Aaron Titan.
Yeah, you and I decided not to see any advertisements for this movie, so this was a surprise as to what the Aaron Titan would look like, and now we finally get to see it for all its glory. And what the hell? It looks like a costume that they bought from Party City for Halloween.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, now here's the positive thing and the negative thing about this. Here's the pro about this. Now Japan is very much known for their kaiju films. And of course, I've talked about Godzilla. Well, I haven't personally talked about Godzilla because that was one of my sick days. But yes, they're known for their kaiju films. And what they do with those kaiju films, those giant monster movies, is that they use suitimation. And what suitimation is using people in costumes to, serve as your monsters, and, that was what they were doing since the 1950s, and it's something that they're very iconic about, it's something they're very well known about, and they're respected for that, and it's considered, and with all these movies we get nowadays, where they always rely on CGI no matter what, if you ever have a giant monster on screen, it's either going to be motion captured or just completely animated. And Godzilla was motion captured for the legendary Godzilla movie, and King Kong was motion captured for King Kong 2005. We get very used to it, so it's actually kind of a refreshing thing after all of these years, and after all these years, and then to finally see that again with Attack on Titan, and that's a very interesting thing. Like, we are back to that now. Like, this should make people feel a little bit nostalgic, kind of, we're finally seeing someone in a costume again, for a giant, and this time around, it's as the Aaron, Titan. That's kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling to give.
Yeah, it would be even better if it actually looked good.
Yeah, you're right. This looks like a costume from Party City. So the costumed guy who's ready for his Halloween party is fighting all the naked people, or should I say Titans, and he's beating their asses, and he's killing them, and he's making them evaporate, because that's what Titans do when they die, and then he dies, and then that's when, for some reason, apparently Mikasa watched the anime, but decided not to, emulate it that much, but apparently she watched the anime, because how else did she know that inside the neck of that Titan is Aaron? So for some reason she found that out. I guess it's because she watched the anime, and so she takes Aaron out of it, and Aaron is inside of a placenta, and he's like, oh, I'm in the side of this placenta, and he's regrown his arm, and he's back, and this is where the movie ends. So yes, that's where the movie ends. That's where we get all the credits, and the credits are in Japanese, and we cannot read them. Although there's a few titles here and there that are in English, but for the most part, Japanese. So that's the movie, everybody. That's Attack on Titan. Oh God. Oh boy.
I think I see what you mean.
Oh really? What was the point I made? I'm too tired to remember.
You said, and don't quote me on this, but you said that this movie is a huge big pile of shit if you compare it side by side to the anime.
Yes, that is what I said, and that is especially true here. Now, of course, some would argue that that is always the case, that you're always going to have something that is an adaptation of something else that is not as good as what it's adapting. And, you know, a majority of the time that might be true, but others, either it's like the exact opposite, where the adaptation is better, but I think the most common of them is where the adaptation is as good as the original, or it's good in a different way. You know, it's as good as the original, but in a different way. However, here, yeah, this is a big pile of shit if you compare it to the anime. However, with that said, there is a loophole with this situation. You see, if you, however, instead think of this movie on its own without even thinking of the original anime or the manga, or in our case, just the anime, if you take away the anime and think of the movie on its own, it's still really bad.
So why did we go all that way to see it then? We went out of town to see this movie. How the hell can you say that this was worth it then?
I'll tell you why. Because even though the movie has, you know, seems to have very little respect for the anime in you know, when it comes to the characters and the way things are depicted, and you know, just plain, you know, respect overall. Even though with all that said, if you think about it as not an adaptation of that, as on its own, you know, and you know, on its own, just as its own piece, it doesn't seem as bad. And the reason why, and the way it is not as bad, is because this movie is the perfect MST3K type movie. Yes, we did it! We finally found the ideal movie to make fun of!
Yeah, we did kind of cover a lot in regards of riffing it.
Yeah, like their goofy derp-ass faces, and the characterizations of the characters, and the goofy love triangle. Like how at the end of the movie, when it's revealed that Aaron is is part Titan, the Mustachio Mentor guy sees it, and he's like, I am going to spell out the moral of the movie to the audience now. We are monsters inside, and it's only until we embrace the monster inside that we get rid of the monster. And then he eats his apple, which and since we know that the eating of the apple is supposed to be an allegory for sexual innuendo, apparently that means that he's horny about this. Oh, I'm horny about Aaron becoming a Titan. Oh, I'm gonna keep eating this apple. So yes, so that's all a lot of riffable things. So, you know, when you look at it that way, you could have a good time with this movie, you know, a good time ripping on it, you know, a Troll 2 kind of stuff. However, if you are an avid fan of Attack on Titan, if you love Attack on Titan, you know, the anime and the manga, if you're like a die-hard fan of Attack on Titan who loves the franchise, you know, cherishes it, you know, they really love the anime and whatnot, this movie is probably going to feel like a big stab in the balls. Like, this movie is going to stab you in the balls, and it's just going to be keep twisting and twisting and twisting and twisting. Also, if you don't like reading and watching at the same time, there would probably be another, nail in the coffin of you seeing it. Because, this movie is not dubbed, as I thought.
Yeah, I thought that because this was made by Funimation, I thought that would mean that it would be dubbed, since that's what Funimation does, is they dub things.
Yeah, we didn't get that here. Instead, what we got was subtitles. And to be fair, I think that might be better because that gives us a chance to review the movie as it was intended. Overall, it's just that we have to read at the same time. And that was a little bit frustrating at times, and sometimes it does make you urge to just stop reading it and just watch it, and that makes it a little bit harder to follow things. But yeah, so that was another little bit of a nail, is that you have to read the whole time. But anyway, keep in mind that's probably how a lot of people prefer it. Some purists are like, no, I want the I prefer the original subtitles. I prefer that. I want that. I want it to be more difficult to watch a movie. I want that. Oh, I want the challenge. So it wasn't too hard to do that. I'm not a whiny baby about it. I'll take my medicine. I don't know why people were criticizing that Guillermo del Toro movie, whatever the hell it was called, Pan's Labyrinth, for like, it had subtitles. I'm so angry. But anyway, no, but that's not what made it bad. What made it bad was, the execution of everything, and the choices of, deciding to make this love triangle and stuff. Because, the original Attack on Titan didn't need that. So, when you compare it too much to the original Attack on Titan, the anime specifically, you are going to be too pissed about it, and you are going to have a bad time. But if you appreciate it for its goofiness and unintentional comedy, you might have a good time, making fun of it. So that's how I, perceive it. And, of course, I forgot to mention that in the middle of the titles, amongst their, rap music, by the way, instead of having that awesome, iconic anime music that we're used to from Attack on Titan, where it goes, no, instead of that, they instead go for rap music, which is freaking weird. Like, what is this? The 1990s, where we decided to accompany every popular movie with a rap song, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Men in Black? Yo, I'm getting attacked by a Titan. Yo, I'm getting attacked by a Titan. Now I'm gonna kill it for all it's worth.
You're really bad at that.
I know, that's why I leave it to the professionals. So anyway, they interrupt the weird, out-of-place rap songs for this film, and what they give us is a trailer for the next Attack on Titan movie.
Wait a minute, there's gonna be another one?
Yes, technically, we're only halfway done with this movie.
What?
Yes, this is a two-part movie, which means that we should not rate the film yet because we've only seen half of it.
But wait a minute. What?
Yep, that means we have to wait till the next one to give it a full overall thoughts on it. So that means see you next time.
What? No, hold on just a minute. You mean to tell me that we're gonna have to wait a year till the next one?
No, we're gonna have to wait till a couple of weeks to watch the next one.
What? The second part is already made?
Yes, and that's why we get a trailer for it, because it's coming up at the end of this month.
What the hell?
So, are you gonna stay with me to finish it?
Fuck no, I'm not going to. I feel betrayed enough, okay? I feel betrayed enough by this series, okay? I'm not gonna stick around just to be betrayed even more by this awful adaptation. Because even though as bad as this movie is, at least you can be assured knowing that the previous versions still exist and they have not been tainted.
Yes, I think that's what everyone should, remind themselves if they're too offended by how, unaccurately this movie was portrayed, is that at least you still have the original. You still have the original anime. Hey, it's streaming right now on Netflix. You could watch it, right now, just to make, just to wash yourself of the possible filth you might feel from this movie.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch that instead of watching part 2. Ugh, I don't need to go out of town again just to watch it. I'm gonna have fun here. Good day to you, sir.
Great. But wait a minute. I wasn't offended by the movie enough to not watch the sequel. I don't mind the idea of watching the sequel. In fact, I probably will do it. Yes, I am going to watch part 2 of this film. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need a new partner. So who should I trust?
How about me?
I don't know.
Come on. I was the guy who was here for the Godzilla review. That means I'm qualified.
Okay, I guess I've got no other choice. Wait a minute. Okay, fine. You can be our guest for the next episode when I review part 2 of Attack on Titan. But on one condition.
What's that?
You have to wear a Halloween costume.
Oh, fine.
And it has to be according to our theme.
Okay, fine.
Alright then. I'll see you guys next time.
Do I have to make it, or can I buy it?
Hey, I'm not one of those judgmental people. You do it your way. You do